Jonathan Lee Riches Investigates. I am covering the Moscow, Idaho Bryan Kohberger case. Let's talk about justice, everyone. What does justice mean to you in this case? Bryan Kohberger arrested, charged with the brutal stabbings of 4 innocent college students, Moscow, Idaho, November 13th, 2022. It's been over a year now. And still no justice for the victims. 3 of the 4 victims' families have spoken in reference to justice in this case. And I want to share clips from all 3 of them. First, we are going to talk about the family of Kaylee Gonzalez. Steve and Christy Gonzalez and the entire Gonzalez family. Almost tripped and fell, folks. The entire Gonzalez family. Justice. What does justice mean for them? I'm going to share this clip and then we will discuss. Check it out.
Or a good friend, my cousin, family member, and he tells me, he knows a lot about the legal system and whatnot. And he tells me, Christy, it's actually a good thing because it just gives them more time. They're not just going to sit there and do nothing. They're going to continue to investigate. Things are going to continue to fall in their laps. Tips are going to continue to come in. And I'm just like, I don't want to hear that. Like, I want to see this guy die. Like, I don't want him breathing any longer. Because...
So it's no secret with the Gonzalez family that they want Bryan Christopher Kohberger, put to death, right? Death penalty. They want it as quick as possible. Do you agree or do you disagree? Can you relate with the Gonzalez family or not relate? What is your thoughts on that? Now, let's talk about the Chapin family, because the Ashley Banfield has spoken to the Chapins a while back, but asked them that type of question. And I want to share that with all of you right here. Check it out.
We're now 5 months into this ordeal, and clearly we're moving towards a trial and justice. And justice looks different for a lot of people. Is there anything that either of you wants to say about justice and what it would be in this case?
No. No.
No, I'm not going to comment
We're not commenting
on that at all. But I will comment that Stace she's a wonderful person and a wonderful mother. And she raised 3...
We raised 3 great kids.
3 great kids. And we're down one, unfortunately, but we're going to move on.
Yeah. So let's talk about the foundation we created.
Yeah, let's do the foundation.
Tell me.
Chapin family doesn't want to talk about it. They don't want to talk about what justice means for them. They said, we're not going to talk about that. What does that mean? Now, one thing for sure, I haven't heard the Chapin family say, because some people say that them not speaking about it might feel that Bryan Kohberger's not the guy, but I haven't heard the Chapin family say that they don't believe Bryan Kohberger is the guy. Matter of fact, on the 1-year anniversary, the Chapin family said and thanked the police departments for this case. If you think that Bryan Kohberger's not the guy, you wouldn't thank police departments. You would be calling out the police departments. But they don't want to answer about justice. So we don't know what the Chapin family feels in reference to whether Bryan Kohberger should get life or death, or maybe they feel he's innocent. Do you feel that? Now let's talk about Ben Mogan, Madison Mogan's family. Now, Madison Mogan's family parents are divorced, her biological parents, but her dad recently spoke. What does justice mean for Ben Mogan, Madison Mogan's dad? Check it out.
When I've been able to do that. Sorry.
Oh, you're good. What does justice look like for you?
Yeah, I I don't know how to answer that question.
That's okay.
Yeah.
Thank you. I appreciate your honesty.
He doesn't want to talk about it either. I can say that Madison Mogen's mom is represented by Shannon Gray, who's also representing the Gonzalez family and the dad of Xana. But I'm not so sure if the dad of Madison Mogen is also on board with this representation, or is he a total separate thing? But he did say he doesn't want to talk about it. Does that mean, does he think Bryan Kohberger is innocent or guilty, or is conflicted on what the penalty should be? Same with the Chapins. Like, they might feel like he's guilty, but they're not so sure. They want him put to death, maybe life. Some people and some victims' families are not in support of the death penalty. I'm not so sure about what the Chapins and Mogens feel, because they haven't shared that like the Gonzalez shared. But they might know. What do you think? What do you think's going in the mind of Ben Mogen? Xana's family have yet to speak about this, so we don't know what justice means for Xana's dad, Jeffrey, or her mom, Kara. What does justice mean for you? If Bryan Kohberger is convicted in this case, what do you think the penalty should be? What should justice be? Some people think the death penalty is too easy. Some people think that justice should be life in prison to let the defendant more or less spend the rest of his life understanding his actions and suffering, right? Bryan Kohberger is almost 30 years old. If he gets life in prison, you're talking 70 years, folks, that he might be on this earth behind bars. But there's always a chance, if you get life, that some governor down the line might reform the prison system and start allowing lifers out. That's a possibility. So even if Bryan Kohberger gets life, there's no guarantee he spends the rest of his life in prison, because things change. Cases get overturned. Rules, policies, and procedures, they get revamped. What about the death penalty? When would it get carried out? Justice. Bryan Kohberger sitting on death row if convicted. 5 years, 10 years, 20 years sitting on death row. Is that justice? What about if Bryan Kohberger gets acquitted? What about if he beats the case? Is that justice? The Gonzalez family wants the DP. Not so sure about the Chapin family. Not so sure about Mogen's dad. Not so sure about Madison Mogen's mom. And not so sure about what the Carnotto family wants. Xana's mom or dad. Subscribe to my channel. Like, hit the notification button. I am covering the Bryan Kohberger case. What does justice for the victims mean to you? Is Bryan Kohberger the guy, or is he not the guy? But I wanted to share, and as the families continue to share their thoughts, I will share with all of you on this channel. This is the Bryan Kohberger, Moscow, Idaho Depot Central here. Anything and everything about this case is on this channel. Check out the playlist. What's justice mean to you? We will talk soon. Stay tuned.